Okay. All right, Joe. Obviously, a little bit different. Coach Schwarzkopf had been the head coach for 15 seasons, but you got Coach Garrett now, who you're familiar with on the offensive side of the football. What do you feel like the tone for this team is as you get ready for the season?
I think it's just like a positive tone, and I think we're just going to have a great offensive year.
Tell me a little bit about this offensive unit. What excites you about what you have offensively, specifically on the line?
Well, we just got so far we're still trying to piece together, but we got a strong left side, and we're going to have a strong right one.
Who are some of the guys that are going to step into bigger roles offensively this year for the Saints?
I think we probably should have Joe Henry and Luke Wigington both step in for a good offensive role, and Vinny Fiacable as well.
When you take a look at last year offensively, there were kind of two quarterbacks playing, but the good news is that you had a sophomore quarterback get some experience. So what is it like now that you have a quarterback who's thrown for 1,000 yards and is really only just a junior this season?
I think it's going to be great because he had a great season last year, and he's got the experience under his belt, and now he's just ready to roll.
As a senior and as a guy who's looked at as a leader for this team, what do you try to impart to some of these young guys so that they can get up to an SAC championship type level?
I think we just got to have a hard attitude this year, and we just got to be ready to hit the whole season.
Skill position wise, you guys are replacing a lot of good players, Tommy and a number of, Eddie, Chip, a number of guys that had productive Friday nights. So how do you put that on your shoulders as an offensive line to make sure you get your job done so that those guys can have an easier way to, I guess, an easier path to being productive in those skill positions?
Well, I just have faith that they will all do their job. If I can get my job done, then they can do their job, and we can just have a great offense this year.
So tell me a little bit about this team. Obviously different with Coach Schwarzkopf, no longer the head coach, but Coach Garrett is familiar to you guys. What's kind of the tone that he's set early on for this Bishop Dwenger team?
Well, I think that early on it's always been about tradition. I mean, I think every year is about tradition, just going back to how we've always done it, reverting back to ways like in the previous state championship team, just keeping the same traditions and what they did and trying to recreate it this year.
When you take a look at this defense, what excites you, and who are some of the guys that are going to be stepping into big roles for you guys defensively?
I think what excites me is we have a lot of experience on the defense, especially in the secondary, Sam Oberfeld, TJ Tippmann. And then on the front line, we have Big Joe and a lot of returning people like Patrick Finley, free safety. So I think it's all going to work out fairly well.
What's impressed you about this team in the offseason? I know you guys are together a lot.
Especially offensively is everybody's will to work together, even from underclassmen to upperclassmen who's the last season. Everybody seems to have the same work ethic and mentality, just off-season lifts, everybody doing their best, getting bigger and everything.
How much does last season motivate you? Because you guys are really very, very close to making a return trip to Lucas Oil Stadium.
I think having it right at the grasp of our fingertips really motivates us to give that extra little bit just to make it to Lucas Oil. I think everybody has it in the back of their minds how close we were, and they're using that longing that we had last year to fuel our off season and going into season today. Just how we work, our work ethic, and everything.
When you take a look at this defense, what excites you about the Saints here in 2018? It sounds like you got a lot of experience back in the backfield.
Yeah, all our linebackers, or most of our linebackers minus Isaac Bloom, coming back. We have a good corner coming back, safeties, and we're really tough, and we all gelled together really well, and I think it's going to be good.
Well, tell me about this offense, because you take a look at Chip graduated, Eddie graduated, Tommy graduated, some guys that put up big numbers on Friday nights. How do you guys go about replacing them?
We go about replacing them, just the younger guys. That's every year has to come up, step up. You never know. People develop, they get better, and we have some good people coming back.
Obviously, you got Big Joe up front. That's a good place to start, is having a guy like that in the trenches. How does that offensive line kind of set the tone for what else you guys do offensively?
That's everything. Like when we won state in 2015, we had a huge line. It opens up the run, which opens up the pass, and so I think it's a big deal.
Does that excite a guy like yourself?
Yes, it does.
When you take a look at Jason Garrett, obviously, you guys are used to having Coach Schwarzkopf, but a different head coach. What's the tone that he's trying to set, and I guess the tempo and the attitude that he's trying to purvey here at Bishop Dwenger?
He's trying to get us all to trust one another, be a good unit, and then also he wants us to play relaxed, have fun, but still intense, aggressive Dwenger football.
What do you think people don't know about this team? Like somebody who's not around this team a lot, what do you think people don't know or will be surprised about on Fridays?
I think they're going to be surprised about Tavehon McGarry in the backfield and our offense in general, because it's kind of been slept on a little bit this year because we lost those players, but I think we're going to be decent.
Right, first day, not first day technically as head coach, but first full practice where you're actually out there. What's the anticipation like for you and for these guys?
We're excited. Yeah, we're excited. We're even running a little behind. Everybody's excited and, get things going officially. And been a great summer, so we're just going to try to keep building on what we had going there.
For you, what's priority number one as you know that August 17th is right around the corner?
Well, I think to continue building, our motto has been, trying to look at trust, unity, and toughness. And I think that's a theme that we want to carry through. I'm going to talk to the guys today about, pressure and then process. I think as far as pressure goes, I think if they're feeling pressure, I'm feeling pressure, then we're too concerned about the outcomes. And I think today, the summer, as we go forward, even through the regular season, really trying to emphasize the process, that we're doing the things that we need to be doing. We're looking at the things that we can do better and building from there. And I think that's the whole trust, unity, and toughness, is that we stay together. And we're always looking at ourselves first and foremost, and how are we doing in the process as a team, and then how are they doing in the process individually too, as we work out positions and things.
Coaches always say, you win in high school football games, it starts with the trenches. You guys have a big guy up there, Joe Tippmann. You guys seem to always have good offensive and defensive lines. How does a guy like Joe kind of set the tone for what you guys do on the offensive side specifically?
Well, being a team captain, and then how he's already established himself with such great respect among the guys, and how he's worked hard in the off season, how he's handled all the attention. He remains humble. He remains Joe, and I think that's been a huge key for him and for us. And obviously, guys leaning on him and trusting him, and then him helping build up the right side of our line, which will be 2 new guys this season. So. He's obviously a vital part of going forward for us.
When you take a look at what this team does defensively, what are you looking for from this defensive unit? Are you changing anything schematically, and who are some of the guys that are going to lead the defense?
Well, obviously on defense, that's always been the key to Bishop Dwenger football. Playing fast, playing hard, playing tough. So Coach Kolkman does an outstanding job. A little bit of scheme change. In that, rather than more of a predominantly even front, we'll probably go to more of an odd look. 3-4, 3-3 stack is some of the new things that we're looking at. And, that affords us to utilize, I think, more personnel throughout the season, so we can try our best to keep guys healthy and keep a fast attacking defense out there at all times. So, I'm relying heavily on Coach Kolkman. He's doing a great job. He did a great job in the weight room with our guys throughout the offseason and over the summer. And obviously, his passion and love for the game and his knowledge of the game, I just cut him loose and cut those guys loose. So.
I think 6 years as the offensive coordinator here for you. Now that you're in the head coach's role, what are the goals for you and for this team as we enter this season?
Yeah, so just 2 years as the offensive coordinator, but I've been involved for six. Yeah. Goals going forward is that we first and foremost uphold all the great traditions of Bishop Dwenger football. We kind of coined the phrase, we hope people come to hear us play, how we go about our business with discipline and effort and focus, how we stay together, we never quit, guys give it their all, everybody supports one another. We talked a lot about the culture. Mm-hmm. For me, just ensuring that the culture is as good as it can be, that these guys truly do love and care for one another. I think trying to get 115 guys to do that, if we're able to accomplish that, then all the other pieces take care of themselves. So,
Perfect.
Yeah, thanks.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, thank you. Thanks for coming out.